here with Triston Michaels, so I guess that answers the first question.
Yeah, that
of
pretty
name.
much. Pretty much.
Second question being, where are you from?
Home in Louisiana.
When were you born?
May 11th, 1989.
All right. What made you, or what was the defining moment that made you decide that you wanted a career as a referee in professional wrestling?
Well, like everybody, mine started out when I was a kid watching primetime wrestling and Wrestling Challenge back in the early 90s. And what always caught my attention was the referees. I never wanted to be a wrestler. I've always wanted to wear the official's shirt and try to call the action, but now that I know it's not an easy job.
Roughly how many years have you been doing it now?
Just under 3 years.
What is, and I know you said a couple of people have asked you this, what is the story of how your ring name came to be?
Well, when I first started out, I went by T.J. Jones. But as I started working more and more in this area, there was a lot of people named Jones. So one of my friends in the back said, "What's your middle name?" I said, "It's Michael." So he put in, he said, "Just put an S in it." And Triston Michaels was born. A lot of people don't like him.
What would you say is your favorite finisher to see while you're in the ring refereeing a match for a wrestler to do or use as their finisher?
I'm old school. I like more of the old school stuff rather than the stuff that's on TV now. So I would have to say a good, clean DDT. Just short and sweet, and once that's hit, your opponent's out. You can count to 50. I felt a DDT before. It ain't fun.
This may not get a great reaction, but what is the worst wrestling gear you have seen a wrestler wear?
Oh, God.
You don't have to say names.
I won't say names, but it's pretty much the sad thing is it's pretty much everybody in the area. Tennis shoes and jean shorts are like MMA crap. We're not MMA. We're in wrestling. You want to be a wrestler, stop being such a cheap ass and go out and buy your gear. Get boots. Get some gear. And for heaven's sake, if you're like a blimp, stop wearing singlets. Please. I am tired of seeing somebody that should have Goodyear on the side of their tights.
What is your most memorable moment in the ring till now in your career?
There's a lot of them. A lot of them I can't remember because so many hits to the head. It would have to be the Iron Man match between Eon Flex and Nathan Crown when, like most of the time, my eyesight's not so good. I got in the way and Nathan kind of hit me. It was like a mix between a crossbody and a forearm. That hurt like hell.
Well, that kind of goes straight into the next question, which is, who has delivered the stiffest bump to you in your career so far?
There's a lot of them to narrow down.
Well, would you say it was the one you just explained?
No, that's not the worst. That's far from the worst. I may get some flack from this, but Doink the Clown moved me over the side. It was with Nathan Crown. He was on the second rope. There was going to be a leg drop from the second rope. Doink moves me. Now, I use Doink, because we all know your name, don't we, you son of a... But he moved me, and Nathan's full weight of his ass landed on the back of my neck. I couldn't move for the longest time. And then he throws me outside and hits me full steam ahead with a chair. That was the worst bump I have ever taken.
What would you say would be the most memorable or worst fan interaction you've had so far?
Yet again, there is a lot, because every fan is different. That's what I love about this business, but there's some that I wish I just didn't see. The worst interaction had to be, I can't remember where I was, but this thing, I don't know if it was a male or female, was wearing a wife beater, and its tit was hanging out. I was like, you try to see that and referee a match when you're worried about making the right call and not messing up in a match.
And keeping a straight face.
And keeping a straight face where it's not like, Shamu's got a titty out.
Who has been the toughest wrestler you have seen so far in matches that you've done in different areas on the Gulf Coast or wherever? Who has been the toughest wrestler you have seen on the indie circuit?
The indie circuit. I'd have to say Nathan Crown. He's got a lot wrong with his back, and he's still keeping on and keeping on. No, that little man's a scrapper.
What would you say was your toughest match to referee? Again, you do not have to say Pacific. Well, I guess you would.
Yeah.
Kind of have to say Pacific names in that case.
I was in New Orleans doing a show for the military base, which was a huge honor. There's nothing better than being able to entertain the men and women that sacrificed their lives for our country. It was between Byron Wilcox and WWE's Kevin Thorne. Now, anybody who's seen these guys, they know they're absolutely huge men that you do not want to get on the wrong side. I wouldn't cross that man with a chainsaw. Either one of them. I think it was like the semi-main event of the evening, and they went outside. And as you know, referees' calls aren't always the most popular. So I could have counted them out, but that meant I would have to deal with them later on in the night. And I'm not pissing them off in no way, shape, or form. So I followed them, and everything I tried, short of actually putting my hands on them to try to get them back in the ring, they ignored everything. So that was the toughest match of my career.
Is there any sort of ritual you do before you go into a match? Like, say, a lucky charm you keep? There's some guys that I know that keep, like, prayer cards in their boots. There's guys that I know that have kept the same set of shoestrings in their boots since the first pair they ever had. Do you have anything similar like that you do?
Not really. I just say a quick prayer that nothing goes wrong and I don't twist an ankle or hurt my hand anyway, because these mats aren't soft. It's like falling on concrete. So I just pray that I don't injure any part of my body.
What has been your biggest inspiration in life?
In life? Family. I'm a huge family man. I try to talk to my mother at least every other day. Sometimes it's a little hard because I get wrapped up in the things I'm doing with my personal life. So it's kind of hard to get in touch, and I hate that. But my family's been the biggest part of my life.
You kind of started on the answer to this question, but what effects have wrestling had on you and your life?
Before I got into the business, I was kind of a hellion. I was 19, had an attitude from hell. Going through the right training, it helped me put my demons aside and keep my problem in check, like anger. I used to get angry really fast, and wrestling's really helped keep that in check, not only because it gave me something to keep my mind off of, but it also reminded me there's bigger guys out there than me. So it's helped me a lot. I used to be bad into some things I'm not going to go into, but it helped straighten me out.
What is something completely out of character that you enjoy doing that you think would be unknown to any of the fans?
Tubing and going to the beach. Anytime I have a free moment, there's nothing I love better than going out, laying on the beach, or getting an inner tube, going down a river. Of course, have a little alcoholic beverage, but that's okay. I'm old enough to drink.
How did you prepare to be a referee? So I guess basically the question would be your training. What was your training? I know who your trainer was, but explain your training process to be a referee.
Well, see, what most people around here do is, really and truly, I don't care if I piss anybody off with this, because I'm shooting right here. I went through wrestling training. I trained for everything. And all I wanted to be was either a referee or a ring announcer. But no, my trainer beat the hell out of me. But that showed my heart that I had for this business. I wasn't able to walk because my legs were so stiff. But I came back every single day, and that's what really pisses me off about this area. Now, I think of myself as one of the best. I know I don't mean to have a big head, I don't mean to have a big ego, but I see myself as one of the best because I went through training. If I wanted to be a wrestler, I could, but most good I do is be in a punching bag, which that's basically what a referee is, isn't it? But I went through training, stretching, being whipped around, tossed around. I went through the right training. That's what you need to do. You need to find a good school, not one that'll take your money and run. You need to find a good school, go through every single bit of training. You got to know how to get in this ring. You got to know how to get your ass kicked. That's basically what it is.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Involved in wrestling or possibly not?
Oh, I'm going to be involved in this business till the day I die. Hopefully, it's everybody's dream in this business to get to that higher level, whether it's with Ring of Honor, TNA, or WWE. I hope to see myself on a larger scale. Of course, I will never forget my roots here in the Gulf Coast. It's where I started, where I was born. I'll always come back here, no matter where I am.
Do you have any sort of message that you would like to pass on to your peers, be it other referees or just the boys in general?
Well, for people that want to get into business, like I said earlier in my questions, go to the right school. Don't become a little backyarder and say, oh, I'm a wrestler, I'm a referee, but have no training whatsoever freaking ever. That's what aggravates me the most, and I think I share that with every single fully trained wrestler along in the world. Because training's not cheap, and being in this business isn't cheap. We're not in here to make money. We spend our hard-earned money. Go through the right training. And to the boys in the back, keep up that job you're doing. To those who've been trained right. If you ain't been trained right, you can kiss the fattest part of my ass.
You have a message to any of the fans?
Don't try this at home.
If
I've seen a lot of little kids just tombstoning each other, hurting each other bad. Don't try this at home, kids. Leave it to us.
If we had a time machine today and you could go back and choose any two wrestlers in their prime at the time, who would be the two wrestlers that would be your dream match to referee for?
Anyone. All right? You know, I love a challenge. I absolutely adore it. So I would have to say Terry Funk versus Stan the Lariat Hansen. Because I know I'd probably be in trouble. But I love a challenge trying to control two absolutely crazy men. As you know, Terry Funk's nickname is middle-aged and crazy. And it's true.
Very good choice, because I've seen many a ref roughed up in those two guys' matches.
And I love a challenge. I love it.
Is there one thing that you would want everyone, be it fan, be it one of the boys, be it promoters, wrestlers, whatever, that you would want them to know or remember you for?
My refereeing style and how I can, even though I'm a referee, I enjoy making the people smile, and I do some stupid stuff in this ring. We got one fan saying, Triston's got gray hair. I acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fans. And remember me for how much I love to have fun. If I'm able to make somebody smile, I've done my job. And remember, leave it to the professionals. Because if you don't, you get hurt. You deserve it. I'm Triston Michaels. Have a good day.